Surrender yoga meditation is the natural flowing together of your true nature with God. Some use the name God for that which is perfect, pure, or absolute. Others call it divine love. And others still call it the life force. Surrender yoga is the process of letting go, of accepting or surrendering to that life force and allowing its divine intelligence and its divine power to purify, heal, and awaken your body, your mind, and your soul. Surrendering or opening one's body, mind, and heart to God or divine love is what ultimately awakens the evolutionary healing life force energy and keeps it awake. This awakening can occur through a formal or informal transmission of life force energy initiated by a teacher, a friend, or a mentor. It can also occur spontaneously with or without one's conscious intention to awaken this energy. Sometimes it inadvertently occurs through intense, focused, willful activity, practices like sports activities, artistic endeavors, dramatic arts, dance, or music. When the powerful life force energy is unleashed, and some call this life force energy the Kundalini, when it's unleashed, many people don't understand what's happened to them. The connection with a spiritual friend, a mentor, or a teacher can be of immense support in helping one maneuver their way through the awakening and purification process from will to surrender. Surrender yoga is different from other methods of self-improvement, personal growth, and spiritual development because it doesn't involve the use of your will. It doesn't involve the use of your desire or ego. The usual methods for improving your health or awakening consciousness is to do a formal exercise or a formal concentration technique. These methods involve the use of your will, desire, or ego to follow a discipline and to willfully go through a learned set of exercises or methods. This brings about self-improvement, but only to the point of what the ego or personality desires. And though many willful techniques have an element of surrender embedded in them, they're a combination of willful and surrender. Surrender yoga meditation is principally only about letting go or surrender to God, love, or the Absolute. There are many practices that engage the will to bring about healing or self-improvement. Such practices are Buddhist meditations, chanting, hatha yoga postures, praying to God, breathing exercises, psychotherapy, counseling, massage. There's hundreds of willful techniques and processes. And all of these techniques are of value. But they can only take you to the first stage of growth. The first stage of growth is that breakthrough into peak experience. And this is the beginning point of surrender. The enlightenment experience on an enlightenment intensive retreat, that's an example of a breakthrough. Another example of a breakthrough is the peak experience that occurs at times during accelerated breath processes, such as transformational breath or holotropic breath or rebirthing techniques. This first stage of growth awakens the life force and spontaneously unleashes incredible levels of energy and inner wisdom. The second stage of growth occurs through continued surrender and thus continued spontaneous release of that energy. No one willful technique can maintain that breakthrough state. A willful process can only take you to the point of breakthrough. It can't maintain it. This is why some clever people go from one willful method to another. They hit breakthroughs using a variety of willful techniques. First, they'll focus on the body. Then they'll focus on the mind. Then they'll do techniques that principally focus on the emotions and then the spirit. In this way, they have some success to maintain a more steady flow of improvement. There are even some systems of personal and spiritual growth that have been devised that combine many different willful techniques to give a more complete range of growth. In the second stage of spiritual growth, there's the spontaneous release of energy that's accompanied by the wisdom and divine intelligence of your own inner guidance. This is what makes up the peak experience of the first stage. But only surrender can take you beyond the first stage and that ceiling of growth which occurs as a result of the ego or the will. Surrender yoga automatically adjusts, shifts, and changes to a correct method or technique. In the flow of surrender yoga, the life force exactly and correctly leads you through any and all methods of personal and spiritual growth that you need. Its divine intelligence applies what's needed. You don't have to think about it. You don't create it. You just surrender to the divine, and it applies what's needed at the exact right time and to the exact degree necessary. And it's particular to you. It moves from technique to technique in just the right sequence, and it's unique for each individual. It does this without you having to be taught how to willfully do something. There's no need for the constant presence of a guide, a practitioner, a teacher, or a therapist. Truth, God, or divine love is the guiding hand that teaches and moves you. It awakens your own inner wisdom. Surrender yoga allows total freedom in spiritual growth, and it has the knowledge and experience of more than 10,000 years of yogic tradition. In a traditional tantric yogic path, those who aspire to spiritual liberation are given an initiation. It's called a diksha in Sanskrit. That diksha or initiation is given by a teacher or a guru. This initiation is called Shaktipat. Spiritual cultures from different parts of the world have different names for this initiation. It's an initiation into spiritual awakening. In traditions other than the tantric yogic path, it may be called the grace of God, the touch of the Holy Spirit, or the transmission of truth. It can be called the shaman's breath. In a surrender yoga meditation initiation, the ceremony of the life force is initiated, aroused, or awakened. Some individuals are not aware of feeling anything during that initiation. Some, at the moment of initiation, feel practically nothing, while others may become full of joy, emotionally excited, and physically active. One person may collapse on the floor. Another may go into yogic sleep, while others may still cry or dance or move about, doing a variety of yogic postures. All initiations and initiates have different experiences in the beginning phase of initiation. And to the degree that a person is open and sensitive to that flow of the life force, to that flow of the Kundalini, that will be to the degree that the benefits can begin to flow to them. Nevertheless, the initiation ceremony is just a beginning. It's only a seed that's planted. The next step is cultivating that seed with a regular surrender practice, surrendering of the body and the mind and the heart to the divine. That surrender begins to bear the fruit of increasing your ability and your capacity for openness to the divine.